Hello everyone and welcome back to another English lesson. Today we are going to be developing some of the research we did yesterday about Iceland to begin writing some persuasive sentences using lots of description. So make sure you have all of your lovely research from yesterday ready to hand so we can begin to write some of these sentences to help us when we come to write our persuasive holiday brochure.
Now, our learning objective today will be to develop different writing styles and explore persuasive narratives, and our task is to begin writing persuasive and descriptive sentences. Your success criteria for today's lesson: everyone, I would like to use some adjectives to describe the location. If you can, use ones with the FUL suffix, for example, delightful, wonderful. Some exclamative sentences, don't worry if you've forgotten what that one is. Some conjunctions including that, because, what, or so. And finally, a wonderful technique for your even better if, a sentence where I have turned a negative into a positive, and I will explain exactly what that means and why they're quite impressive. First of all, Mr. Nash, make sure you put your even better if. Okay, now one of the locations that I have discovered in Iceland when I was doing my research, and it looks like a wonderful, wonderful place to visit, is somewhere called the Blue Lagoon. And this is like a geothermal sort of lake. And what it means is it's a very warm bit of water where people go and they almost swim in it and have a nice bath because it's incredibly hot. Now, as you can see on the outside, there is lots of snow in the background. So it's probably a freezing cold day. But the water in here is probably as warm as the bath that you have at home. Okay, so it's a really nice experience, and I know at the bottom all of this blue stuff here actually comes up as almost mud on the bottom of the water, so it's this sort of blue mud. So it looks really, really colourful, doesn't it? Very strange sort of blue colour, but very wonderful as well. So I think some people really like to visit this. It's a very big tourist attraction in Iceland that lots and lots of people visit every year. Okay, so when I'm writing some descriptive and persuasive sentences, I'm going to encourage people to come and visit this Blue Lagoon in Iceland. So I'm going to start my sentence off up here with, whilst you, oh no, I want my joint handwriting font. Whilst you are on holiday in Iceland, comma, you must, so I'm using those modal verbs that I've learnt before, you must visit the wonderful and mysterious Blue Lagoon. Okay? It is delightfully warm, and I wonder what we could say about the colour. Wonder what we could compare. Maybe we could write a simile about how blue it is. As blue as, I'm probably going to go, and it is as blue as the sky on a warm summer day! Exclamation mark. Okay, now if we are to use an exclamative sentence, it's a sentence that ends with an exclamation mark. So you might say, what a wonderful place to visit! Exclamation mark. It's almost just a statement. It's not just any sentence that ends with an exclamation mark. It needs to really be a short one which says something that when you're reading it you'll say, what an amazing da da da. Okay, so that's an exclamative sentence. So I'll give you one here. What an incredible, what an incredible sight to behold. Okay, so it's a very short sentence, usually an exclamative sentence, but it will be something short and snappy, which will make your reader say, oh, okay, I'm going to take notice of this. What an incredible sight to behold. Now, where I'm going to go next is I know that Iceland is very cold, and I know that sometimes in that capital city called Reykjavik, when I did my research, it said sometimes in the winter it gets as cold as -10 degrees. So I might say here, remember, comma, to bring a warm and fluffy coat. And here we go, I can use a conjunction, because the temperature in Iceland often falls as low as -10. Now, if you're trying to look for the degree sign, I believe it will be up in the symbols. Don't worry too much if you don't get one of these. Let's have a look, see if Mr. Nash can find it. There's one. Okay, and I just press close. Minus 10 degrees C, okay, in the winter time. Remember to bring a warm and fluffy coat because the temperature in Iceland often falls as low as minus 10 degrees C in the winter time. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn a negative into a positive. Now, I know some people do not like cold weather. If some people had the choice between visiting Iceland or somewhere lovely and warm in the Mediterranean like Italy or Spain, I can understand why some people would want to visit there because it's lovely and warm. You don't have to worry about being cold. Okay, now Iceland is very cold. Sometimes the weather there is very rainy. It's probably not a place you want to go if you're looking for a holiday for lots of sunshine. So what we're going to do, and this is something that people often do, writers do in a holiday brochure, is they turn a negative into a positive. So what we would probably mention here, we know Iceland's very cold, so maybe we'll mention about going to visit a nice warm log cabin or jumping in a thermal pool to warm up. Okay? So I might say here, for those who do not fancy adventuring into the cold and wintry mountains, oopsie-daisy, mountains, comma, fear not, for you can happily embrace, I don't know, a warm and cozy log cabin or a something, let's go for thermal pool, exclamation mark. Now, or a thermal pool, what could we say here? I'm thinking of an adjective I could include there. I'm not going to include one, but maybe you at home could tell me, or in school, an adjective I could include here. So let's read all of this. Let's make sure it actually makes sense. If I've checked off my success criteria. Whilst you're on holiday in Iceland, you must visit the wonderful and mysterious Blue Lagoon. It is delightfully warm, and it is a blue, oh dear, and it is as blue, okay, so I just need to read these again, don't I? It is delightfully warm, and it is as blue, as the sky on a warm summer day. What an incredible sight to behold! Remember to bring a warm and fluffy coat because the temperature in Iceland often falls as low as minus 10 degrees in the wintertime. For those who do not fancy adventuring into the cold and wintry mountains, fear not, for you can happily embrace a warm and cozy log cabin or a thermal pool. Now, I might be able to turn this into an embedded clause actually here. No, I won't actually. So, for those who do not fancy adventuring into the cold and wintry mountains, fear not, for you can happily embrace a warm and cozy log cabin or thermal pool. Now, what I'm expecting then from your work today, sorry, that was a lot of waffle there, Mr. Nash. What I'm expecting is for you to find a location in Iceland that you think you should write about. So where in Iceland should tourists visit? If you need a little bit of help, I might include a link on the worksheet of some key tourist destinations. Think about those geysers, glaciers and lagoons because those are really interesting places that you definitely won't find in the United Kingdom. Now, find a location, just choose one, and write some sentences, please, about that location. Try and write 4 or 5 sentences today, as many as you want to, or as many as you can, describing the Blue Lagoon or describing the tourist destination that you have found for Iceland. Because this will really help now when you get onto your holiday brochure later on this week. Right, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. I'm sorry if I have been talking too much or I was a little bit confused at times. Follow on nicely, and if you need to look at this again, absolutely fine, keep watching. I look forward to seeing your work again soon. Thanks guys, bye.